GABA English Class 7. Chapter 13. No Room for a Leopard. I first saw the leopard when I was crossing the small stream at the bottom of the hill. The ravine was so deep that for most of the day it remained in shadow. This encouraged many birds and animals to emerge from cover during the hours of daylight. Few people ever passed that way. As a result, the ravine had become a little heaven for wildlife. Below my cottage was a forest of oak and maple and Himalayan rhododendron. A narrow path twisted its way down through the trees. At the bottom of the hill, a path led onto a grassy verge surrounded by a wild dog roses. The stream ran close by the verge, tumbling over smooth pebbles. Nearly every morning I heard the cry of barking deer. I saw pine martens and a handsome red fox. I recognized the footprints of a bear. As I did not come to take anything from the jungle, the birds and animals soon grew accustomed to my face. After some time, my approach did not disturb them. The langurs in the oak and rhododendron trees, who at first would go leaping through the branches at my approach, now watched me with some curiosity as they munched up the tender green shoots of the oak. However, one evening as I passed, I heard them chattering in the trees, and I was not the cause of their excitement. It was as though the langurs were trying to warn me of some hidden danger. A shower of pebbles came rattling down the steep hillside. I looked up to see an orange gold leopard poised on a rock about 20 feet above me. It was not looking towards me, but had its head thrust attentively forward in the direction of the ravine. It must have sensed my presence because it slowly turned its head and looked down at me. It seemed a little puzzled at my presence there. Then, to give myself courage, I clapped my hands sharply. The leopard sprang away into the thickets, making absolutely no sound. I had disturbed the animal in its quest for food. But a little later I heard the quickening cry of a barking deer as it fled through the forest. The hunt was still on. The leopard, like other members of cat family, is nearing extinction and was surprised to find one so close to Missouri. Probably the deforestation that had been taking place in the surrounding hills had driven the big cat into this green valley. It was some weeks before I saw the leopard again, although I was often made aware of his presence. At times I felt certain that I was being followed. Once, when I was late getting home, I saw two bright eyes staring at me from a thicket. I stood still, my heart banging away against my ribs. Then the eyes danced away and I realized they were only fireflies. In May and June, when the hills were brown and dry, it was always cool and green near the stream where ferns and long grasses continued to invite. One day I found the remains of a barking deer that had been partially eaten. I wondered why the leopard had not hidden the remains of his meal. Probably he had been disturbed while eating. Climbing the hill, I met a party of hunters resting beneath the oaks. They asked me if I had seen a leopard. I said I had not. They said they knew there was a leopard in the forest. The hunter had seen the carcass of the deer and the leopard's paw marks, and they kept coming to the forest. Almost every evening I heard their guns banging away, for they were ready to fire at almost everything.